Hi there, Evan here with Crypto and Markets for Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. Theme of today's video, the Bank of Canada meeting. I'm going to quickly summarize my thoughts on it. First, I'm going to give two big takeaways here from the statement itself, and then go into the rates themselves, and essentially give a perspective I don't think I have before. Okay? First, the two only takeaways that really matter from the statement itself. Growth estimates for 2019 were originally 2.1% growth, now down to 1.7%. Now again, that is high. I understand that. I think by the third or fourth quarter of this year, we're not going to see any growth. We're going to already be negative. But anyhow, we all know the housing market is slowing. Housing starts have started the way down. Construction, hence wise, has seen a slowdown as well. And also, from the housing market slowing, from the home price declines we've seen in Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and other markets, with a negative wealth effect from declining home prices, the consumer has slowed down. Retail spending has slowed down. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, powers of sale have started to pick up now. Again, a further sign that things are starting to get really bad out there. Which then leads to my next point. Bank of Canada mentioned this. Housing and consumption weaker than expected. Well, they haven't been following my channel for the last year and a half then. Anyways, there's that. But there's another point here as far as the rates go themselves I haven't mentioned before, which I will do now. As I've stated in the past, the 2015 rate cuts by the Bank of Canada were a colossal mistake. I've said it in many videos. I'm going to say it again here. Now put it in context. When we started having the serious ramps in 2014, 2015, 2016 in housing, that was a time the Bank of Canada should have been raising, not cutting in 2015. Because with home prices doing what they were doing, that obviously meant that inflation had picked up. And what should a central bank do when inflation picks up? Raise rates. So this whole talk about neutral this, neutral that. Sorry. Here's what you need to remember. When they should have started to neutralize back then, they cut then. Hence, we had the blow off top in late 15, 16. So this whole thing you talk about, with the neutral rate being 2.5%, 3%, that's 4 or 5 years ago when they should have started raising rates. And that's the whole point of what I'm saying here. Like the rates are now, look at the bond market. The Raoul Pol indicator for central bank rates, the 1-2-year bond spread, that was inverted for about the last 2 weeks. Which already tells you, for the cycle, the Bank of Canada has already gone too far. And look at bond yields. I don't think there's a bond yield now in Canada with a 10-year duration or under that's over 2%. That should tell you growth expectations aren't there. And that massive move down in rates everyone's talking about, no one should be shocked. I told you all a year ago that rates couldn't go higher because growth wasn't there. So think about it. What I'm saying is the seeds for this were laid long before even the rate cuts themselves. In fact, for this cycle we've had since 2009, You can put a lot of it to the interest-free loans the Canadian government gave the banks back in 2008, 2009, when we started going down then. But again, as far as rates go, when people tell you that the rates have to be higher because that's the normal rate, again, look at bond yields. Even then, look at inflation. CPI's declined 4 straight months from when it called the top back in August. Wage growth's slowing down now. Average hours worked, that's up less than 1% year over year. And even look at M1 money supply. The growth rate in that peaked out in the middle of 2017. I mean, again, too much money chasing too few goods is inflation. The amount of money in the economy, at least the growth of it, has really slowed down. So what inflation? Even look on the credit side. Credit creation has been slowing down since the later part of 2017. So the crux of what I'm saying is, all these inflation indicators, all these growth indicators are telling you the neutral rate now isn't what it was 5 years ago. In fact, if they went ahead and raised rates in 2014, 2015 like they should have, bubble wouldn't be this big right now. We'd enter into the recession like the rest of the global economy, I get that. But it wouldn't be nearly as bad now. And that's what I'm saying. And here's the key. By waiting so long to enter into the rate hike cycle, think of how little ammunition the central bank has to go ahead and fend off this recession, besides go ahead and go into full-blown QE. In fact, they've already gone ahead and basically set it up. They've already gone ahead and bought $250 million of mortgage bonds. You don't think if things aren't going to slow down, that's not going to pick up? Think again. I've said it on Twitter many times. I've said it on here many times. Quantitative easing was going to be their only way out of it because of how big the debt bubble now is. And when people are in as much financial trouble as they're in right now, you can't just flip a switch, go snap, and have the thing turn around. Once you start getting into the cycle, you're going to be in a while. So the crux of what I'm saying is, when the Bank of Canada should have raised rates, they cut rates instead, and essentially brought their own neutral rate down, which has put them in the bind they're in right now. That's all I'm going to say. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe for more, and most importantly, follow me on Twitter, @CryptoMarkets2. Have a good day, everybody.